Hey everyone, just want to give you some crash course directions on some of our Reflectors webpage updates. If you visited the website recently, you'll notice we've got just some different dynamics to it, so just thought I'd show you around a little bit. So if you open your browser and go to, as always, reflectorsministry.org, you'll see just kind of the heading, and don't be fooled by these tabs here. These tabs are on pretty much every page on the website. If you go below these tabs, that's where you get into our content. And we thought we would want to include the core values and vision right up front, just in case we have some new folks who are visiting the webpage and just kind of want to know, hey, what is this ministry all about? We thought we'd start with that. And then these are the tabs that you kind of want to use and kind of play around with and check out the different elements here. Instead of one long page and that you have to keep scrolling down and down and down for like we used to have, we've kind of broken it up into these sections. So let me just go section by section so you can kind of see what's going on. The very first section that appears is weekly programming. And this weekly programming section kind of has two components to it: weekend information and midweek information. So with the weekend information, again, most people who are going to be visiting our page for the first time, the first thing they'll probably want to see is, what are they doing on Sundays? What's that like? So you'll see it has just a blurb about IWPs first, but then it has kind of the campus by campus information. So what's going on at Dyer, what's going on at Cedar Lake, what's going on at Highland, and of course that's a section we hope that continues to grow and expand. And then if you click over to midweek groups here, it's the same heading of the, just IWP blurb, but then you have your Wednesdays information, you have friendship ministry information, a little blurb about Fresh Hope, and even youth ministry, student ministry. So for those of you who are part of Wednesdays and come to Wednesdays, this is where you're going to find your RSVP information. So you kind of got the dates right here, and for whatever RSVP we have ready to go, you'll always find it here next to the date. So you just click on one of those, and it'll bring you to the form to fill out to register. So that's kind of the weekly programming, weekend worship and midweek groups. So the events are a little bit different. So weekly programming, events. If you click on events, this looks a little bit different, a little bit cleaner, honestly, than what we had. So these will pull just different event pages that we have linked to Reflectors Ministry. So essentially, what we used to have is a straight RSVP link right there. Now what you'll do is, if you want to register, say, for the Friendsgiving event, which you should because it's going to be fun, you click on the event, and then here's a page here, and then on that page you'll see different buttons for kind of more information, date, time, location, and then the RSVP link. So if you click on one of those, that's how you'll RSVP, and then obviously you can just hit back to go back to the, that takes you to the weekly program. So back to events here. That's basically all there is to that. If you want to learn more or RSVP for any event, you go to the events tab, click on the event, and then you'll see information and buttons from there. Now, we also uploaded our entire event calendar, so you still have that. So that's still underneath the events section. So events, and then the calendar. And by the way, you can click on this calendar; it'll open up a new link, and then that's how you can print that if you want, hang it on your fridge, print a small copy, put it in your wallet, whatever. All right, so back to the tabs here. So weekly programming, events, resources. This is kind of a cool outreach tool for us. There are a lot of churches and a lot of folks that ask, hey, where can I find your videos that you guys have made? And so we've kind of started this section with videos. And if you haven't watched all of these, check them out. We've got Psalm 133, I Am Confessions, Apostles' Creed, Thank You for Fathering Me, The 5 Stages, Irresistible Church, a testimony from the Poskin family, and then a testimony from Jared and Mike from Wednesday nights, and a couple of others here. So that's mostly just for people who want to check those out, maybe want to be inspired, want to use those in their context. But then we have some training videos. These are kind of for volunteers, and again, for other churches too. They like to utilize this stuff. But a couple of training videos we've done, and then our handbook is here. I have to still update this, but we do have books, just so you know, that we'd love to share with you. And you can always borrow one from us as long as you give it back. And even there might be some that you can just keep. But if you want to check out anything, just to read or to learn, let us know. And then we kind of had a season where we had these prayer partner cards, and so hopefully that's something that we kind of bring back eventually, but just some other ministries to be praying for. So that's all in the resources tab, all right? So these last ones are pretty brief for parents. We have the IWP, a link to that, which we linked before, but just another section under the parents just to fill that out. And then if you're curious about parent policies, which isn't a lot, just a few kind of expectations, especially for first-time parents. And then just a few testimonials here. And then for volunteers, we've got the Serve tab. And again, this is for someone. We can easily send them here if they're wanting to learn about serving or serve for the first time. This kind of gives the process for that. They fill out the serving application. It kind of tells them what the process is and how we get them on the calendar. And then a couple quotes from volunteers. And then lastly, we have our staff. So this is kind of our contact page, essentially. And our phone number is really all the same. You just look up the office phone number if you want to call the office, 219-864-0300. But these are ways that you can kind of see our job descriptions, who you want to be in touch with, and email addresses for everyone. So that's pretty much it. And I'll show you one other thing. Just one other way to get to our page. Reflectorsministry.org is a kind of a simple, short link for us to use, but you can always also find us through wearefaith.org, which kind of takes you to the homepage and all the stuff going on at Faith Church. But if you go to Connect, and then I have to pull this screen over a little bit. If you go over to Connect, you'll see these different headings for adults, kids, students, care support, events, classes, special needs. If you click on special needs, that takes you right there, right to where we were. So that's a little bit of a crash course. I hope that's helpful. And always, if you have questions, don't hesitate to let us know. Thanks.